Red Hawks a winner today, 83-69 over Tennessee Tech. And there are some milestones that we got to let you know. First of all, it's the first time since Gary Garner's NCAA tournament team of 99-2000 that SEMO has swept Tennessee Tech. Now, there were like 3 years in there when they went to divisions where they didn't play Tech, at both places. But it's the first time since 99-2000 that the Red Hawks have swept Tech. 10 home wins. That is a new high water mark under Coach Korn. And the 7-game winning streak. If it ever goes to 8, Coach Korn, that would be the longest in the Division I era for SEMO. The last team that won more than 7 games in a row was Ron Shoemate's 89-90 Indians. So today was a good day, and the Hall of Famers were in the house.
Yeah, today was a good day from a basketball standpoint and perspective, Eric. And again, life will humble you. And I just want to send our condolences to the Bledsoe family in Charleston, Missouri. Our graduate assistant, Sam, his brother, JJ, Tuesday morning had passed and put up a good fight. And Sam was here today for the first time in a couple of weeks.
He had been battling cancer.
Correct.
Yeah.
And just in an inoperable spot. So, again, great basketball day, and we'll, of course, get to that. But, anybody that knows the Bledsoe family in Charleston and JJ, just keep them in your thoughts and prayers, and continue to hope that, God will wrap his arms around that family as they venture into what is going to be a different life for them. And so, again, we appreciate Sam and his family and everything he's done, and for him to come here and get a little bit of escape from that mental anguish that I'm sure he's going through, emotional toll. The family as well, we send our condolences and thoughts and prayers to them.
Yeah, I talked with Sam a little earlier during one of the media timeouts. I think his brother was 14.
14 or 13, yeah. Was in 7th, 8th grade, something like that. So yeah,
Sam told me he was a baller.
Yeah, and he even played. I think he was playing games even in November and December this year. So
and he was a baseball player.
Baseball player, and a lot of people knew him. And big kid, 6'2", 6'3". So, but again, hopefully the family gets some solace and celebration of life. And it just doesn't seem fair. But at the end of the day, that's why we have to come out here and play the way that we play, because we get to play a game at the end of the day. They're playing the real game of life. So thoughts and prayers to their family and, the Southeast community, SEMO, men's basketball will always be here for them if they need anything from us.
And again, keep the Bledsoe family in your prayers. Your team today, Coach, you're down 8-2. What did you think of that start? You're like, whoa. I really didn't see this coming. Not that you can't get off to slow starts, but you've been really playing so well, and all of a sudden it's 8-2. What were your early impressions? Because as soon as it went to 8-2, boom, 11-0 run.
Yeah, and you do worry. I worried about that as a coach, just being complacent. It's the rat poison that Coach Saban talks about. The greatest threat to success is success itself. We've had success lately, and the road wins and the way that we went about that was pretty impressive. So you just always, in the back of your mind, have a little bit of fear that you're going to come out flat and slow, or that guys are going to you almost fear that they're going to get in the mindset of an exhibition game to where, all right, I'll just come out and make this shot. And then the next guy says, all right, I'll come and do this. And then the next guy's falling asleep on defense. And now you've created this whirlwind that you can't get out of. And now a team like Tech that can really score and shoot the basketball, you put yourself in a real bind. But we found our footing right away. I just thought our energy was low. And once we got going a little bit, and maybe I did a poor job in practice this week of keeping us on edge and ready to go. But I thought we had a good practice yesterday. But, again, to your point, Eric, once we kind of found our footing and everything, jumped right back in it and then jumped back on top of them. And so, again, I think any time that you can, so to speak, win boring, that's when you know you're a pretty good team, and we're a pretty good team, and our guys responded the right way.
I think it was a season high today, Coach, 2,692. First of all, you're winning. You're playing well. You play a fan-friendly style. I mean, this isn't Pat Riley's New York Knicks of the late '90s. It's not that kind of style. Yeah. But fans like this type of basketball. It's winning basketball. And then the Hall of Famers were here. Yeah. You got a lot of SEMO basketball alums. Everything just kind of lined up, because sometimes I've been here for a while. You have everything, the table set, and SEMO comes
Yeah.
out and they don't play well. I mean, I just everything was set, and man, your guys responded.
They did, and it is a these everybody does Hall of Fame weekends across and always about this time. I know when I was at SIU, we would always play terrible, just because there's so many distractions going on, and you're trying to give the people the flowers that they deserve. So Antonius Cleveland deserves all of this, and I'm so impressed with him, Eric. He came to when I first got the job, I reached out to him, and so we've had a digital relationship, if you will, and he even did a Zoom call with our very first group. But we've stayed in contact, and he came and spoke to the guys yesterday at practice and came in the locker room after, and just being there last night and hearing him speak. And that's the thing that I've always tried to create here is a brotherhood, family atmosphere. And to have a guy that I didn't coach, of course, I played against him when I was at assistant at Missouri State, and he was here. He plays for Coach Nutt, played for Coach Ray, and then they come back and still feel like hearing him speak, Eric, I felt like I coached him, because the things and the values that he valued is exactly what we tell our players every single day. So just having him here and his teammates that came in, he had a couple teammates that came in with him, and they're just seeing the locker room and going around campus, and just that's exactly what this should be about. Whether you play for Coach Nutt or you play for Coach Ray or you play for Brad Korn, like, come back, and this is your school, and that's what Hall of Fame and Alumni Weekend is supposed to be all about. And just super, super impressed with Antonius, and I appreciate him and his family and the time that they came back. Because, again, it's a little bit weird when you didn't play for that coach. But I think our staff amongst SEMO did a great job of making him feel like this is home, and hope he comes around more. And it's obviously hard for him because he's making a living overseas in Russia playing basketball. So, but just a very, very nice way to represent what our program is. And you always respect the people that came before you, and he paved a major, major way because he's a great, great example. I could go on for another hour talking about him because he played on this court. He sat in that locker room. He wore that uniform, and he made it. And so it's just an unbelievable opportunity. And he's a great guy, high-character kid. And that doesn't mean that he's perfect, but everything that we talk about in our program and what we try to get these guys to be, he's living now, and it's just a great, great example. And it's great for our players to be able to have someone that they can look at like that and talk to, because they do want to be him one day.
So you finished with 5 players in double figures. It's been a while since Teddy Washington had a scoring game like that. He's had plenty of impact performances that didn't involve him scoring over 20 points. Just 1 of 8 from 3, but, man, he finds ways. He finds ways to win. I mean, to me, Teddy Washington, regardless of stat line, because he was scoring a lot of points early in the season, and there were a lot of those games that you did not win early in the season, but his stat line looked pretty good. He just seemed, the more I see him, the deeper you get into the year, he's a winning player. He makes winning plays.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Eric. He makes winning plays. And he's a dog. You hear coaches talk about a dog, and he plays with a high motor and a tenacity in a lot of different facets. You know, he'll defend, and he'll get steals, he'll get his hands on balls, he'll jump for rebounds. So there's a lot of ways that Teddy impacts it more than just scoring. I thought he had good looks all night long. I think maybe he took one shot that was – he didn't have to shoot that one. He could have shot it a little bit earlier and settled for the second one. But I thought he had great looks. I mean, 1 for 8, you know, and he's 8 of 19 from the field. He probably, 4 of 8 if he got those same exact shots again from 3 on a bad night, just because they were wide open. So again,
there's one in the corner. You think, oh man, he's going to stick this.
Yeah, even the top of the key, I was like, yeah, that's surely it's going.
Sometimes
in. He almost had too much time.
I was going to say, can you get too much time?
Yeah.
You think about it.
I think that one he did, and but again, we start seeing that. You know, Teddy, BJ, Rob, Braxton had 14 points today. I thought Brendan Terry was one of his poorer games, and he has 14, 15 points. So a lot of depth there that we can hurt you in a lot of different ways. And again, Teddy spearheads a lot of our mojo and energy. Again, because he's a little bit more outwardly. Rob is a very, very good player, but he's a little bit more inward. And so they work really, really well together. All those guards do.
All right, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves, but let's say you win the OVC championship. This is just
you just got ahead of yourself.
Just a media question here, okay? I understand.
That's fine.
These are the kind of questions that the people in the media think about. Okay, win the OVC tie, or maybe tie for the league, whatever. Does Rob Martin at this point have a shot at OVC Player of the Year?
Yeah, I think he does, and
especially if you look at his conference numbers.
Yeah, and you'd probably have to go back because unfortunately there was some of that voting. You mentioned media, and if he didn't play well in the particular game, a guy may not vote for him that way. But if people that really know basketball and understand basketball and the things that he does and the way that he moves and helps other people within our team, he's been the growth of his game overall. Of course, I see it every single day.
Well, it's the coaches and the SIDs that vote on this, right?
Yeah, but I don't know every SID is as sharp and as in tune
I
as
got you.
Jeff Hansa.
Right.
So you just never know what people are. You know what I mean? If we're
Right.
So let's say we played at, I don't even know where we played. At Martin, we did not play very well at Martin. So their SID being like, well, Rob Martin, he's not very good. And so now he doesn't vote for Rob. And so, again, if you're not watching all the games and understanding the value that the player brings, or if you just go off the eye test one time, that's where it can get a little bit tricky for those awards. So, to me, assistants, honestly, if I'm being really honest with you, Eric, every assistant should get to vote because they're the ones that watch a ton of the film. They're the ones that know exactly what a guy has done for the totality of a season, not just in that one particular game. So, anyway, get off my soapbox. But I think the beautiful thing about our team, Eric, is hopefully we can finish. Again, you can never take anything for granted. We got 2 games coming up at home to finish off a home season the right kind of way. But you can make an argument for Teddy. Brendan Terry has been phenomenal. Rob obviously does a lot of good things. So, again, that's when one, that we can have the conversation, and 2, that there's multiple guys that you can talk about. And to the victor go the spoils. I don't know what the statistics show. Whoever wins the league, and has been Moorhead for a couple years, those people get the awards.
All right, what was the message to your team? It's down to 4 games here, man. And you've got a 1-game lead, and 2 of the 4 you've got here.
Yeah, honestly, Eric, it sucks. And I hate to talk that way or be that way, but it does. It stinks because I love coaching these guys, and you don't want to see the end. And so the whole thing is let's just keep moving forward. And the great thing is
you do know we've got a tournament. You're going to be able to coach them for a while.
I know, but again, to think that this time next week we're done playing the Show Me Center for the season, it's kind of like, dang, like why can't we keep going? Just let us keep playing. But it may not be in the Show Me Center, but we do have that opportunity to continue to play. And hopefully this group can continue to put themselves in position to have that conversation to where we're saying, hey, let's keep playing. Let's keep playing. Let's keep playing. Because I really, really, truly enjoy these guys, Eric. They're fun to coach. They got great personalities. They're good young men. They're going to be productive members of society. It's a group of Antonius Clevelands. And whether or not they all make it to the Hall of Fame one day, I don't know. But they've all been Hall of Fame for this season, especially after last year's season and feel. I respect these guys a whole heck of a lot for what they endured and then came out here and done, and now we've got to finish it off the right kind of way.
When you're winning like this, are you signing more autographs?
No, I don't think we need people getting Rob Martin and Teddy Washington and B.J. Ward and Braxton Stacker and Brendan Terry and David. I'll name our whole team. They need to be getting those guys' autographs, not mine.
Man, you're a popular cat during the winning times, isn't it? All right, it will be on Thursday, Western Illinois. They readjusted that baseball series in Memphis, so we're going to be wrapping that series up on Monday. So back in Cape Girardeau, but you will be at the Coach's Show. I won't see you until next Thursday. So, again, congrats on the big win, the 7-game winning streak. And, you know, I said earlier during the broadcast, you know, I don't know if anybody is going to catch the Red Hawks here the rest of the way, but nobody's going to catch them today. Nobody caught you today. You're still all alone at the top of the standings. I know your kids love that.
Yeah, it sounds good, and we just, keep your head down, keep believing in the guy next to you, and keep plowing forward.
Thanks, Coach.
You got it, Eric. Thank you.
All right, that is the Red Hawks head coach, Brad Korn, and the other media excited that we finally stopped talking to him so they can get a quote or two from the Red Hawks.